Good morning. I had to pull off the side of the road before I get on this larger highway. I'm not going to take the small highways. They will take me all day long, as beautiful as they are, but I need to make some distance. I need to get up into West Virginia by tonight. So, this morning got off to a pretty good start, except for this big Amish store that I wanted to see. It's called Troyers, Troy, Troyers, and they were disappointingly commercialized and big business and very expensive. I was expecting something else. I was expecting Granny out back at a butter churn making the cheese and everything. No, this was a grocery store. It was just kind of, like, you got to watch out for that. They were very busy. There were a lot of people there, and there was a lot of people loving it, but I'm not paying $20 for a candle you poured into a milk jar or $6 for a bar of goat soap. I wanted to find some cheese and snacky stuff because that's fun on a road trip. Those different flavors and all that handmade stuff. But this was not it. That wasn't it. They're out there, but Anyway, just put my hair up. I could not have it in my face. It was all over the place, and I'm like, not today. So we are going to Fancy Gap and possibly look for the craft studio of an Ike and Sandy Spillman. Ike and Sandy Spillman. I found some of their product before and thought it was really cute. So that's at a place called Fancy Gap, Virginia. And then we're going to shoot for Mabry Mill again. We're going to get to Mabry Mill. So, all right, I'm about to get on this big road, but it's going to get me there quick. That's what's happening. Here we go. This is actually what is it, Thursday? And I have not compiled and uploaded a video of Wednesday. It took me forever to get the one from Tuesday uploaded. So I'm just about a day behind in real time. That's kind of a hideous color. Is it a hideous color? I like it. All right. I was going to say, because I'm sitting here thinking about it, the clerks in that big, bright, fancy grocery store, they're all standing there at their registers stoically, like plain and sanctimonious, like a row of cornhusk dolls. They reminded me of this ancient temple that has columns in the front, and all the columns are these stone women. I think they're called the Pleiades, and I think there's a constellation named after them. I could be wrong, I don't know, but there is a temple with these stone women just standing out front as the columns. And they're charging, $13, $14 for homemade Chex Mix. It just seems a little bit. Also, I thought the thrift store, the New Hebron thrift store, I've been in two. They smelled bad, they were overflowing and junky, and they were higher priced than any other store. New Hebron. I'm just thinking, like, get over yourself. Don't get your tables flipped. Just in case you're asking yourself, what is he doing? What's the point of this? Why is he recording all of this? I haven't frequented Facebook for a long time, and I still don't. However, it's just as much for me, truthfully, as it is to make a production, be a spectacle. It's not so much that. This is how I want to use Facebook. I think I don't want on there all the time. I don't need all that information, but it's a place to put these memories. So it's as much for personal reasons as it is for. I mean, there is a fun aspect to the entertainment of it, and I'm glad that you may enjoy it too. Well, that's really pretty over there. I'm on the big road, and people are a little bit different when you get north of North Carolina. I think Virginia still calls itself a southern state. I think even Maryland, I don't know. But I do know there are some states that call themselves southern states. But, people are a little bit different. Decorum, manners, politeness, and that stuff that is just sort of ingrained. I don't know. That doesn't sound right the way I'm saying it. I'll have to think about that. Oh, I'm doing the gum. Hold on. I saw one of those signs along the interstate. I had not planned, had not known to come here, but it was irresistible. It was the Museum of Middle Appalachia. Middle Appalachia is mostly eastern Kentucky and all of West Virginia. I'm in Virginia. I'm just in that little pointed southwestern corner right now. But this is exciting. This will be the Museum of Middle Appalachia. Very much looking forward to this. Here's a road marker, a very old cemetery. Sulphur Springs Church and Campground. All right, there's two more people walking. Look at this way. Again, we're off the beaten path. You just can't beat it. I mean, honestly, if time is an issue, you got to get on that interstate and book it. But you're contending with so much traffic, and people are just careless and selfish with the driving. Wow, Middle Appalachia Museum. This, I'm thrilled. I thought of something. I was going to tell you that I think I'm doing too much of the chit-chat in the videos that I'm uploading. Too much of the, good grief, look at that valley. And I should try to do more lives because, and there's an issue of connectivity to Wi-Fi and convenience. I need to be stopped somewhere to do that. But if I did that, then I'd get all of this chit-chat that really is not of any entertainment value only to a very few people closest to me, really, I would imagine. But if I did more lives, I'd get all this little chit-chat out of my system, and the vid would be packed. That, good grief. You see that old farmhouse? Museum of Middle Appalachia. So, the Appalachian Mountain Range actually stretches all the way north through New York. But New York usually calls them things like, and Pennsylvania too. So Pennsylvania and New York. and Maine, and beyond Maine, the little part of Canada above Maine, the next down the line is New Brunswick. And that geologic mountain range stretches all the way from New Brunswick and to Alabama. Now, some people say that the northeastern part of Mississippi is included in Appalachia, but it would be hard to explain why I don't buy that. I know that Tom Bigby in the northeastern corner of Mississippi is hilly. There's like a Mount Warren or Mount Wallace or something like that. That is technically a mountain and the highest point in the state. But the reason that part of Mississippi was incorporated into Appalachia had to do with some shady, sketchy politics and I don't know. I just leave it there because I really don't know. Oh, look at the kudzu. There has been a lot of kudzu. It unnerves me. I'm not a fan. Anyway, I'll see you soon. We're gonna go learn something. I hope I don't learn a hard lesson. I just want to go to a museum and a gift shop. I don't need my moral compass shaken up. Oh, that is not the window. I'm moving the mirrors. Anyway, one other little thing I was going to add on to that is that through Pennsylvania and New York, they don't necessarily call their sections of the Appalachian Mountains Appalachians. I think, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not always know what I'm talking vaguely. Anyway, they call them Poconos and Adirondacks, and they call them individual sections have names there. And the culture that when you the Appalachian culture is not the entirety of the Appalachian Mountains. I guess that's the point. The Appalachian culture is very much eastern Kentucky and West Virginia, and then those skirted, proximate areas of Virginia, North Carolina, and Tennessee. But you can't really lump a huge part of the state into that. You can pretty much put all of West Virginia and all of eastern Kentucky in there, though. Quick stop. Scenic overlook. History of Saltville. Contains fossils, 13,000 years. What attracted animals? A riverbed underneath the valley that is 15 to 30,000 years old. The vanished river that was the valley is called the Saltville River. Lined by shale, abundance of salt present in the river and deep in the ground. That's what attracted animals to the valley. Thus, Saltville was once called Buffalo Lick or Salt Lick. Over time, plant life, spruce forest ponds, prairies dotted the valley. Mud deposits changed the upper end of the valley into a marsh. Amount of open water decreased. It was a marsh, but it wasn't a flowing thing. These stream and lake deposits created conditions required to preserve. Okay, Thomas Jefferson, something, something. Bones of uncommon size. Thomas Jefferson received a letter from Arthur Campbell. Bones of uncertain size. Many species found since the first discovery. Woolly mammoth, stag, moose, caribou, fish, plants, turtle, snakes. Early peoples. Paleo-Indian, fluted projectile points. So they're finding like, well, arrowheads of some kind. European colonization of the Americas brought the English. Surveyed in 1753 in the 1840s, the remaining lake was drained. Salt industry flourished. Later came Civil War, industrialization. Right. Ooh. Here I am, rolled into downtown Saltville. Main Street is sort of divided by this wide. There's a little post office and a bandstand. A few people sitting around the park. A fruit stand down there. A row over on that side and a row over on this side. And as soon as I came in, I heard someone hollering across. Like, not, you know, when you first hear someone hollering, you think something's wrong. Nothing wrong. They were just talking. Then I saw an old dude, neck tattoos, riding around in the passenger seat of a minivan with that old Cavalier, blase, bored looking attitude. Both of them just kind of cruising. Anyway, it was a type of person going in the museum.
Dotted around the valley. As the centuries passed, the hunters were followed by more sedentary native people who set up large camps, and later a small Hills High School now stands. At this site, they
just as a note, some of these little scrappy, scruffy fellas are wearing fedoras. They're all wearing like old fedoras. Not the straw hats I'd imagined. I thought, anyway. That was not a cultural center. That museum was more about the geography. And it was fascinating, and I'm not knowledgeable about Cenozoic, Paleolithic, and I mean vaguely Stone Age. Okay, 15,000 years ago. What? But it is truly fascinating, the unique mineral deposit here, and all the trails of the animals migrating into there when a thrift store or junk shop. The animals coming into the area, leaving the trails that were later used by humans, and all of the human artifacts found, of course, because they were hunting the animal. And it was cultural to the extent that it covered the early exploration, early European exploration in the 1600s up until settlement, even until 1970s. And I got the impression that Earth Day and environmentalism put a lot of things into motion. A general awareness, but the benefit of which will take more than multiple human lifetimes to reap. And it seems that advocates for very strict environmentalism want it now. It is akin to, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No, we're not going to be there. Your children's children's children may get there. The policies may be meritorious, but there's another side of that coin, and it is reaping an effect on pre-existing culture. When a mineral deposit wasn't revered as anything other than useful. It's gonna be I hope that's not preachy. I'm trying to keep my opinion very neutral. I just want to know more about this. But honest to goodness, first bleaching agent, first baking soda, salt. At a time before technology, before today's salt was making medicines, it was making bridles and tanning leather, it was used to preserve meats. Salt was a big deal compared to today. Well, heck, you've had animals and Indians coming there for 15,000 years for the salt, but it was very important, and it is important, but I would have never thought that it was used for all the things, and just how crucial the mining and the ponds and the wells and the evaporation of that was Saltville, Salt Town. When it comes to generally anything that we decide is best for civilization or humanity, the right path, if we decide those things, that's well and good. But they need to be, those opinions need to be companioned with a realization that it's not going to happen overnight, and that your goal is, while admirable, could very well take several generations to come to fruition. And be careful that it doesn't implode under your persistence. It looks like we are about to be on the Blue Ridge Parkway, just by happenstance. That, coming around that bend, was a Jurassic Park moment, where the valley is, oh my goodness, there's a stone tower. But there's a scene in Jurassic Park where they're just getting out in the little Jeeps, the original Jurassic Park, and Laura Dern pops out of the top of the Jeep with her jaw dropped, and then the camera pans across this valley. Sometimes that happens when a valley is revealed. I think about that. But it was huge, so massive. These hills are a little more, they're not rolling necessarily they're just larger. They're not sharper. They're gorgeous. Shot Tower Historical. That was the Shot Tower. Oh, there's those crosses. I can't remember the man's name, but he's it's not Hagerman. No, it's not that. I think it starts with an H. You know, the old trio of crosses, white and gold. You see them? That was a whole campaign. I want to say back in the 70s, some dude just put them up everywhere. And now they're almost regarded as folk art. And they're called his last name crosses. The so-and-so crosses. Anyway, I think it's windy. You can tell from the big trucks that it's windy. And I've seen a lot of traffic signs, highway signs that say Highlands. So I believe this region is regarded as the Highlands. Oh man, I can't show you that. It's a rock cliff, big. So Scotch-Irish settled this area, and the geography in the British Isles is called the Highlands, and I think that carried over to this part of the Appalachian Mountains, and they're called the Highlands. Pretty sure that's where that came from. When I find things in thrift stores that are interesting and artisan, handmade, signed, and I like to look into them.
In half a mile, take exit 8 for Virginia 775, Virginia 148 toward Fancy Gap.
Anyway, I found this little doll, not a cloth doll. She hangs on the wall. She's hard. And it's some type of resin. And we're fixing to find out what type of resin.
Take exit 8, then turn left onto State Route 775.
And her makers are Ike and Sandy Spillman of Fancy Gap. And Fancy Gap, Virginia, has Fancy Gap pottery and...
Turn left onto State Route 775.
She's probably going to come back home screaming. But there is a good bit of pottery and crafts in this area of Fancy Gap, Fancy Gap, Virginia, which is also on the Blue Ridge Parkway. And I might have accidentally just gotten onto the Blue Ridge Parkway. But I'm going to get up here.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto US 52 South.
In a quarter mile, Fancy Gap Mountain. I'm going to get up here in a quarter mile and look around for some pottery and these Spillmans who made my little apple granny. I'll show you my apple granny. Alright, somewhere in here is Apple Granny. Right down. I think she's on this side. Oh, there she was. Look. That's Apple Granny. And I found there it is. Ike and Sandy Spillman, and they are in Fancy Gap. I just passed a store that said Blue Ridge Ceramics. So I'm going to go inquire about the Spillmans. There are a few galleries here, or were. There was a pottery outlet, and this guy's making it off of classes. They do a lot of classes where you paint, glaze, and fire your own fused glass, just about anything. But when I was talking to him, he said, well, not anymore. That one closed, and then that one closed, and I said, why not anymore? And it was a obvious answer. It was COVID, because this economy depended on tourism, and there haven't been any for 2 years. So the places are closing right and left. All right, that's Fancy Gap. Okay, for sure. We are on the actual Blue Ridge Parkway right now. Got on it at Fancy Gap. 35 miles per hour. Never thought I'd say this, but that's more like it. There was that Indian, that mountain laurel. And the temperature is cool. And Mabry Mill is what? 23 miles. Huh. We getting there. I think I just passed a tobacco field. I could just go waller in it. Y'all look at this. There ain't nobody here. There's little farmhouses everywhere. Ain't nobody down that way. You hear that bird? Where is everybody? We in Virginia. Virginia. We in Virginia. 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 All right, 60 miles per hour. How fast are we doing? We're up here in Virginia. Lord, that's a new one. Let me try that again. We up here in Virginia. We going to see Susan. You know they got a new baby. Terry's been having a time with his alcohol after the barn burned down. What the? That air looked like a nice crop of corn coming in. Yeah. Oh, Alice wasn't too happy about them youngins putting trailers up there by the field. She liked the way it looked. Boy, now that used to be the place. Didn't Harleen and Gerald meet there? Had that fight? I don't know whatever happened to them people. Built that thing and left town. Want some that cedar tree's been there ever since I was a little boy. That's old Mathis' place. That sure was pitiful. That's old, what's that fellow's name? Tomothy? Dadgummit, I just passed a thrift store. Said second time around. I'm not gonna go. That's more corn. I think that's corn. That's corn. It's gotta be corn.
In half a mile, turn right onto US 58 Business West.
There was fruit on the trees back there. Apples or pears. Fruit on the trees back there. When I was going into the visitor center, the Mabry Mill place, I was going in and a dude was coming out and he went to his right and I went to my left, and then, you know, like couldn't get around my, and he just like stopped dead in his tracks, like, I'll stop, you go which way you want to go. And I would have done something like that. It was a jerk move, but I would do such as that. Not like face to face with somebody, but I'm just saying, I think these are my people. Oh, jerks. Hey, I was just testing to see if we could get a reliable stream for live. We cannot. So I wanted to go live and chat and paint the Mabry mill. There she is. But it's not going to work because the no Wi-Fi. Here's my little setup. And I can see what I need to see through there. Just got some outlines, and can't chill out with me here, but there is no Wi-Fi signal, so will be no live. I can show you something though. This is that Mount Laurel I've been talking about and seeing everywhere, and I've got a little cool stream, but of course I just lugged a bunch of stuff over here, so I'm perpetually sweating, it seems. Anyway, isn't that pretty? So I'm gonna go sit down and work on Lisa's painting, and I am a little disappointed that I can't include you in a live stream. C'est la vie. Okay, I've got to pack up because it is thundering and the place is about thinned out. For about 10 minutes I haven't heard any, and it could be close to, they could close, but there are no gates or anything. But I am hearing thunder, so, and I can't everything getting wet. I'm gonna stop. I might leave it a little impressionistic. I'm painting what I see rather than painting for realism. This was the ideal angle, but I don't want to be in the way of people taking pictures. And I can kind of see through here and nod around to get an idea of what all is there. And I'm not trying to paint it picture perfect either, but I'm gonna call it because I don't want to get caught in the rain. That was so much fun. I'll catch you later. Forgive me, but I just walked up the hill in a fairly frantic state because there's no one here, and the thundering's talking to me like, boy, you better get packed up, okay? And yeah, I brought all this back to the Suburban like a pack mule. A pack mule. But got my little painting done. I kind of wanted to be a little more impressionistic with it. I don't know when to leave them alone. I'm afraid that when I look back at the pictures, I'm gonna like some of the earlier abstract phases of the painting. You know, like when it's just coming together, starting to look like a picture. And then I can't help it, I keep picking at it. And then I start having like little brush strokes as opposed to a consistency of big brush strokes. And I like leaving it at that big brushstroke stage. Probably would be smart to try one and just walk away. I bet you there's a point to that. My God, my face looks like that topographic map at the museum. It is 4:47 Eastern time, and I've got to go to West Virginia. There's those little people coming out of the bathroom. They scared me because there's like one of those open park bathroom things, and I was the only one here. And I heard somebody pull up outside. I was like, ain't nobody else here. What are they doing? You know. So I'm gonna be a little bit skittish, or just aware. What does Patrick call it? Situational awareness. I think that's the thing. I don't think I should be embarrassed about that at all. Anyway, it is time to skirt up to West Virginia. I'm fixing to wake my little navigation woman up and tell her, let's get it. Let's go on. I'm going up to a town called Beaver, where there is a cheap motel. I don't care if they're cheap. Cheap and tacky is half the fun of these little places. So I'm about to navigate to Beckley, West Virginia. Beckley's sort of the general area where the New River Gorge is. And that should be as far north as I'm going. But here we go. 4:49. I'm gonna wake my navigator up and tell her, let's get it. Let's go on to Beckley. This really should be interesting. West Virginia has a lot in common with Mississippi. We are usually neck and neck for the poorest. So they just as pregnant, just as ignorant, just as barefoot, just as... This will be interesting. Country road. Let me do it right. Hold on. I don't know any more of that song though. Country road. Country road. Country roads take me home to a place where I belong. West Virginia.
In 2 miles, use the left 2 lanes to take the US 58 West, US 221.
That's my traveling companion. You hear her? That's my AI. That's my artificial intelligence. That's my that's my fake intellect. I need to cut all that out. I need to act right. I need to cut that out. I can't be acting all wily and silly. I need to have some situational awareness. I don't want to get in trouble. Oh, darn it, I'm doing it with the gum again. Let me chipmunk it up there. I need to be a pine, not tay in the wind. Not like nail. Not like that nail's tree in the wind. I keep thinking of something to say and then forgetting it. Oh, it's New River. I'm following New River up to the New River Gorge. That's the river. I have not done any picnicking today. I haven't eaten anything today. It's funny how, that must be the reason I eat so much when I'm at home. Boredom. Because when I'm exhilarated, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. don't even know how this is livable. There is nothing flat. Well, there's flat right there, but you know what I mean? And it's so heavily forested. I am somewhere near the state line of Virginia. Unless there was an 18-wheeler blocking the view of the Welcome to sign. No, I'm not yet. I'm not technically, because my navigation hasn't said so. She'll say, welcome to WV8, because it's abbreviated on all of the signs. I'm going to Love's. I'm going to get some, I love Love's. I'm going to get some coffee.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto US.
It might be that the West Virginia state line is in this tunnel. I don't know. It's been any moment now and I've not seen a sign, but here we go. East River Mountain Tunnel, dedicated to so-and-so. Everything's got to be dedicated. Here we go. Oh, there it is. It popped up on my phone.
Welcome to West Virginia.
West Virginia. The state line is in the tunnel. Weird. Wow. You get to West Virginia underground. All right. I see cars crossing up there.
GPS signal lost.
Oh yeah, Beckley, north. Huh. There it was. We are in West Virginia. There's a sign. There's a trestle bridge, and it looks like railroad tracks over the highway. Old rusted steel. Yeah, that's a railroad track. I'm just about worn out. I'm really feeling it, especially since eating and talking to my mother, maybe? I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with it. I am worn slap out. So I'm gonna get on to my motel. I keep seeing these billboards for the Lion's Den adult superstore. I'm not sure I've heard of that. I wonder if it's a thrift store for secondhand items that have been donated, used things. Might have to, it rings a bell, the Lion's Den. Isn't that where Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego go? I might have to check that. No. I got my vitamin C and hand sanitizer, and it ain't. I'd need a lot more than that to visit the Lion's Den. You know, Abednego is a much better name for that big thrift store than Lion's Den. Abednego. They had a field full of emu back there in West Virginia. Told you there's a lot of parallels. Did I say field full of emu or a bed full of emu? Did I say a bed full of emu? I'm a little bit worried that this little cheap motel office is going to be closed because it is 6:40. I mean 7:40. It's 7:40. I don't know. I don't have too long. 20-30 minutes. I'll find a place. If I have to drop a dime to get inside a room, I will do it. But if I'm going to do that, I might just relocate somewhere closer to the things I want to see. So, not certain how this is going to go. Hopefully all goes well. There it is, I see it. She's fixing to holler at us, hold on.
Your destination is on the left.
There it is. Let's get on over here. Oh, office is open. You. They got house plans. They taking care of plans. That's a good sign. Yawn. Let me get out. So I'm on my way to the Travel Lodge, and this is fine. That place was just dirt cheap, but it was also dirty. And anyway, water under the bridge. I will be closer to the Tamarack Marketplace. I will have this room for 2 nights, and that's wonderful because it's nice to not have to pack up all your stuff to relocate. It becomes so confusing. That's a very pretty sunset's very pretty. So, welcome to the West Virginia Turnpike. Anyway, yeah, I spoke to the guy on the phone. He answered and he was like, yeah, we'll get you fixed up, bub. So, I feel good about this. So, 2 nights in Beckley.